you think? A little Jewel, 6,000 bucks. 2006 Mustang. Really nice looking car. So here I am at the Ford dealer in town. Here in Decatur we have Ford, GM, well, Chevy, Buick, and we have a Chrysler dealer. And so the big three American automakers. At any rate, I'm out here because I'm starting to look at getting a new car. So what's going on is that I leased my vehicle in the spring of 2015 on a 3-year lease, and that's worked out very well indeed, because I don't drive a lot of miles, and I like to have a warranty on a car and that kind of thing. And because we only drive maybe 6,000 miles or less a year, we're not eating all that depreciation. Now, that's kind of what I want to talk to you a little bit about in this kind of segment of Frugal's Take, and that's buying versus leasing. Now, currently, we have, and I'll turn this around, it's right here, which is a 2015 Fusion Titanium. I happen to like the Ford Fusion. It's a very nice car. It does us really well. And we're thinking about getting another one. This is the Titanium edition, and so actually they don't have any Titanium editions on the lot right now. However, our lease is up. We have to return the car April of next year, which is 9 months away, roughly. My camera just shut itself off. So I was talking about buying versus leasing a car. In my particular case, since I don't drive very many miles, about 6,000 miles a year, it's one of those things that I think makes more financial sense for my wife and I if you look at a car as a expense as opposed to even a depreciating asset, because quite frankly, most people will tend to sell a car, want to trade in a car before the loan is paid in full, and so they end up equity short on a car. They try to roll it into the next loan, We're seeing people financing cars 6 years, 72 months. There's even 7-year loans, which is 84 months. And I just think that's crazy. If you want a new car every 2 or 3 years, or 3 years or so, I think leasing's the way to go if you don't drive a lot of miles. Now remember, it's important to know this, you don't want to put a whole lot of money down on a lease, okay? You do not want to make a big down payment on a lease. What you're looking for to get a lower payment on a lease is a car with a higher residual value. That means that it's worth more at trade-in time, and because you're just paying the difference between the purchase price and what that car would be worth. And so if you want a lower payment, that is, how you would handle that. So there are caveats with leasing, of course. If you drive over your allotted miles, let's say you get 12,000 miles a year, and in the 3 years it's 36,000 miles, you come rolling in with 40,000, you got to pay a penalty, and that's around 25 cents a mile. So you don't want to necessarily do that. And of course, excessive wear and tear on the vehicle as well. So you definitely want to take care of a leased vehicle. For my wife and I, because we like having a bumper-to-bumper warranty, we don't drive a lot of miles, and leasing a new car probably makes more sense for us, because again, we don't want to deal with warranties and vehicles being out of warranty. And if we want to be able just to go somewhere and not worry about the car, then I think that makes a whole lot more sense for us. But we have to make that decision by December. So I already started looking around to see what I might like. Will I stay with Ford? I don't know. We've had really good luck with the Fusion. It's been a very reliable car. So far, no problems, with no mechanical defects with the car. Everything's worked perfectly on it. And we like the looks of the car. We may decide to buy it outright. That's another option, because a 2015 Ford Fusion Titanium, which is a top-of-the-line trim level, with by next April we'll only have in the neighborhood of, I don't know, 14,000 miles or so on it, would be worth, bottom line is the residual value would be less than what that car would cost to buy used if somebody came in a used car lot. So So this is a technology segment of the show, and as promised, I am buying technology for with the proceeds from my Amazon affiliate link, and then I am reviewing that on the show, Frugal'sTake, and then the review units I will resell on my Facebook page. Links down below. So the first product that I want, category I should say, and I really got to premise two things. Under $50 price tag and different product categories. We're going to start off with desktop speakers, and this is the Cyber Acoustic CA-3602 2.1 speaker system with a subwoofer right here. So what do these sell for? These sell for $39.99 on Amazon. My affiliate link down below if you're interested in purchasing these. What I was looking for was not only price, but from a company I've heard of, which Cyber Acoustics I definitely am familiar with. They make good stuff. And I was looking for something that had good sound as opposed to something that was more gimmicky looking. And I think these suit the bill really, really well. Okay, let's talk about power. When you get into very low-end desktop speakers, a lot of them don't have that room-filling sound. Some of them sound very cheap, some sound very tinny. None of the above with these. These are actually rated 30 watts RMS, and you're presented with two satellites, each one capable of producing 6 watts of power. And you have two 2-inch drivers. This is more for aesthetics, this port up here at the top, and a aluminum type finish on the bottom. So they look very, very nice. They are very, very glossy black. Measures 8 inches tall by about 3 inches in width. And you have, and they are wired, by the way, they are wired. So when you unbox these, it is really almost really tough. It was for me anyhow to get them unboxed. I think Cyber Acoustics could have done a better job the way it was boxed, and but that has nothing really to do with how they look or how they sound. To me, looks are secondary for desktops. I mean, yes, they should look nice, but what I'm interested in is, can they fill the room with sound? Can I get clean sound? Do I not get that distortion with them? And I can answer the affirmative. They do fill the room with sound. You do not get a lot of distortion unless you really push them hard. They're capable of 62 watts peak, but you wouldn't really want to listen to that in peak. The subwoofer is a 10-inch tall by 8-inch box with a 5¼ driver on here. So 5¼ inch on here. What makes these particularly useful is this control piece right here that allows you to plug in headphones, or you can also hook up, say, your iPhone, your tablet, smartphone, whatever, and as an auxiliary port, you could even, maybe even a video game console if that's what you wanted to do. And you adjust the bass right here. You got a little knob right here, wheel. Do not push the bass too hard because you'll basically kind of destroy the mids coming out of the two satellite speakers. So for the price tag, if you're looking for a desktop speaker system that performs very, very well, can fill the room with good sound, and you have a budget of $50 or less to spend on them, these are going to be some of the most top-rated desktop speakers out there. And for the money, I think they're going to be really, really tough to beat. You may find some that are better looking. You may find some that don't work as well for this price tag, or you'll find them for a company you never heard of. So I just think with Cyber Acoustic, since it's a well-known brand, and you definitely get good sound. I'm going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and just play a little bit of music here. And you can see you just use this knob here to adjust it up and down. And it can really crank it up. So it does a great job. I mean, obviously you're listening to this through your speakers, right? But I love good audio, and I'm not really an audiophile, but I definitely respect good audio. And so I wanted to point these out to you. This review unit will be up for sale on my Facebook page within about a week or so. It won't be boxed up real pretty, as I had one hell of a time getting it unboxed, but that's neither here nor there. $39.99, Amazon link down below. Good set of desktop speakers. I think you'd be pleased with them. You're not throwing your money away. These are not cheapo, chintzy speakers. These are actually pretty decent, solid deal for desktop audio. I am out looking to film ducks. That's right, ducks. Not computers, not printers, not monitors, not mobile phones or anything like that, but ducks. I'm inspired by Eli the computer guy. I enjoy his channel. And I started watching Eli just right before he went on his camping thing that was supposed to last a year, but didn't last quite that long. And what's funny is that his main channel, over 800,000 subs, no longer is he making good money off of that channel anymore. And apparently he feels that the kind of technology that is drawing the views today is not his cup of tea. He doesn't really get excited over water cooling graphics cards or reaction videos and all that kind of stuff. The kind of technology, Linus Tech Tips type of stuff, it's just not his thing. And he's done feels that technology is becoming less and less important. Now his videos tend to be for the IT professional as opposed to, a gaming type of enthusiast channel. So he's not all about the latest and greatest CPUs or GPUs or PSUs, any of that kind of stuff. And so that makes it very, very, very interesting. He's making a transition, and so now he is out filming ducks. And he even renamed his channel to something like Eli, it was Eli the Computer Guy Live to Eli the Computer Guy Redux, something like that. Anyhow, Eli, I salute you because I know where you're coming from. Some of the tech today that draws a lot of eyeballs, I'm also not that terribly interested in. I too am not really excited about water cooling graphics cards. But those videos get hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views, right? And the kind of stuff I talk about doesn't always do very well. And he's noticed that on his main channel, Eli the Computer Guy, the revenues have slowed way, way down on that because technology is always in flux. And we're now living in a time where if you're an IT professional, the days of running cable and setting up servers and that kind of stuff is kind of winding down because of hosted services, etc. So the demand for some of those positions that a lot of us cut our teeth in the IT world has begun to decline. And Eli is now trying to find his way, and he, I guess, feels he has said all there is to say about the classes that he taught, everything from VPNs to how NAT works, etc. Mesh networks. And so what's left? He wants to continue to make YouTube videos, wants to continue to make a living off of YouTube, and that is fantastic. But what to talk about? What to get eyeballs? And he listens to Gary Vaynerchuk, as he calls it. And maybe the best type of creation is in the documentation. How you do things as opposed to sitting down and creating something from scratch and then hoping that it does well, rather than go through the process. And for his channel, it is now about the process, which is of filming ducks. Will that work out? He seems to be a smart guy. And Eli, if you do happen to catch this video, more power to you. I still enjoy technology, but I always have looked at it as a tool to accomplish a task and not a hobby, if you will. It's like PC gaming. Let's take PC gaming. Do you play games for the fun of it, or are you a gamer because you like tinkering with the hardware? And there's no, maybe you enjoy doing both. I happen just to enjoy the gaming aspect, not so much really into the tinkering under the hood. I mean, I just bought a pre-built PC, built my own, going on 4 years ago, and just bought a refurbished Alienware, mainly for content creation as opposed to gaming, because that's something that I enjoy. And who knows, maybe that's what you enjoy. But I don't really get all that excited about the latest, greatest generation. I guess I'm a little excited about Ryzen. I'm glad to see Intel get some honest-to-God competition. There for a while, it was looking like AMD was down for the count. But no, I'm glad. But there's certain things I don't get excited about. And but making video, creating content is something that I do enjoy. It's got a passion for, and I probably always will. But I'm not, unlike Eli, this is not my primary gig, right? This isn't what I do for a living. And maybe that's scary to the guy. I don't know. But it's interesting. What happens to YouTubers when they no longer feel that they're being relevant, or when they watch their channel begin to slowly fade? How do they, if they want to stay in the game, what do they do? Because if you're not passionate about something, it shows in your videos, right? It shows in your content. I'm guilty of it. I've created videos about subjects I really wasn't that passionate about. And believe me, it showed in the view count. So it's going to be interesting to see how he makes that transition from technology to filming ducks. And my ducks aren't around. But I'll give you a little evening shot of my backyard now. There it is. Evening indicator.